to approve electronic communication. We have a motion to approve the electronic second, okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign? Okay, that passes. We're going to, the next item is agenda approval. Make a motion to, I want to add two things that didn't make on there, so we make the motion to, I want to make a motion to amend the agenda to include discussion of the school board motto or mission statement, and to talk lightly on the consolidations, school consolidation concerns.
If I may ask a question before, if I'm willing to second it, what the school consolidation you want to discuss in this committee?
I want to show maps.
And so consolidation means closing of schools you're looking at?
I'm looking at remapping, because of the way in which we don't have, we're not meeting up certain standards, in my opinion, that having close to home, consolidation with people who are in the district, and this should be discussed as we're doing this. This should be discussed as part of the agenda. But to make sure that we're saving on transportation, making sure that everybody's getting the education and not spending time on school buses. So did you, you can second it? Darrell, would you second it?
Well, I don't want to second the one on the, because we just approved the vendor Monday for the strategic plan. And part of the strategic plan will be updating the mission statement and the, what was the other thing?
Mission and vision.
Vision. Yeah, that'll be part of the strategic plan, and we just identified, we just awarded it, but it's a 10-day waiting period before we can go forward. So that's part of the.
So that's already taken care of?
That'll be a part of the strategic plan.
And they'll work with you all as a board to change it.
Okay.
And they'll make sure that we have to approve the mission statement and vision statement, but that's part of what they're.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Yeah, so that vendor has been selected, but
It's a 10-day
it's a
period.
10-day waiting period for the other vendor. It was 28 vendors that applied for that.
Okay,
So
fair enough, so I'll take that off.
it gives them 10 days to challenge or whatever. I don't think it will be anybody, but
So then I'll change that to just reviewing maps of school where students are, so that we can get a good feel and idea of, because I just sent you them, I didn't send Dr. Gupta the map, because I wasn't sure if you're going to be here, but I sent it to you and the other two members, you and Mr. Lean. So to take a look at the maps, so we can see where things are scattered all over, and recognize the benefits of having closer to home or close to home attendance.
now, my challenge to second it would be, let's bring it forth so that it can be published, because we published the agenda on Friday. And I think if we carry that to the next meeting and publish it ahead of time, so anybody that wants to.
This is just for discussion to bring it to the full board.
Are you there, Ms. Arlene?
Yeah, I'm sitting there.
Okay.
Yeah, I do apologize for not being there.
I'm not in favor of creating any ruckus right now. We don't need distractions at this point in time, so I'm not going to second this motion.
Yeah, personally, I think if we already had the agenda in play, I would sort of think that we should maybe stick with the original agenda and still trying to inculcate something here that might not be completely necessary at this juncture.
Okay. Approval for the agenda as written.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you much. So it's 2-2. Did that not pass?
No, thank
Did you vote against the current agenda, Eileen, Mr. Eileen?
No, sir, I'm in favor of the agenda moving forward.
He's
Current
already-
agenda, not the one that we were just trying to adjust, yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, and change order, that's first?
So we're gonna circle back to that one. That's the one that we need to go back to. He's on the way.
Metal detectors.
All right, so just want to give a quick update on the metal detectors. Within the last week or so, we sent out 2 different applications. The first survey that went out was just seeking community feedback, and that was overwhelmingly successful. We had about 250 responses back on that. Very honest, candid responses. I've worked through summarizing all of that. To sum it up in about 30 seconds, stakeholders broadly support metal detectors as a necessary safety measure, but careful planning is needed to address logistical challenges, staffing, and student experience. A couple of the students worry about delays, long lines, and the look of the school, while the staff emphasized equitable access and avoiding extra burdens on the teachers. Recommendations included multiple entry points, training the personnel, clear procedures, alternatives like clear backpacks, or targeted screenings to implement the system efficiently and respectfully. So those were some of the patterns that we were seeing in the responses that we got back in that. The second survey was not as successful. We got about 5 responses back. That was for the committee applicants. So we sent it back out. And we now have 55 applicants.
Okay.
So we've got some to sort through. That is as of this afternoon. So I have not dug into that yet, but I do want to let you guys know that we are ready to start digging into that. And when Mr. Caputo gets back from Texas, where he is presenting, we will start looking at our applicants.
So what would be the optimal number for that committee?
We want to have a representation of both schools. We don't want it to be heavy for Glass, heavy for Heritage. We're looking to have administrators, we're looking to have parents. If I could say 6, 7, not a big number. We want something that's going to represent both sides, but also keep numbers lower. We've got the community feedback, and we feel like we've got a pretty good grasp
So
on it.
would that be like 6 representatives for Glass and 6 for Heritage? So like a dozen?
No.
Or are you saying a total of?
If I were to give you a number 6 to 8 between both schools combined.
And including,
That would be parents,
well,
parents, students?
Yep. And we've got a good mixture of parents and staff and administrators and the like. It's impressive. The second push certainly gathered a lot more interest.
may I add to, oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I didn't see you.
That's why I'm raising hand, so you go ahead.
I just wanted to add to that. Yesterday, I had an opportunity, I ran into a parent yesterday and, just giving me some feedback and was, she had shared that initially when she heard metal detectors, that it was approved and we were just, we were putting it in. And I said, no, what we had approved was, first we want to make sure that we had the funds to be able to do it. And then, of course, we went through committee and then the board to get support to put the implementation plan in place. And that's why we're sending out to get your feedback. And she was saying that a lot of the parents, once they actually stopped and took a look at everything and understood that there was going to be a process for doing it and that there was going to be feedback from them, that they were really pleased with the process and having that opportunity to give some feedback as to how it would be implemented to make sure that we kept kids safe. So I just wanted to add that. I didn't get a chance to talk to you about that, but I was getting my car serviced yesterday, and I luckily ran into a parent who gave us that good feedback on that, so. I've been quiet.
Is it,
That's all for the metal.
okay?
I had a question.
Going on to Crime Stoppers.
Mr.
I had a
Other
question
questions?
for you.
Oh, I apologize.
So the survey response you explained to us has a lot of fancy words in there. You want to take just a moment to logistical challenges. That's a pretty wide term. Is there a staffing issue? Or, because like EC Glass, car riders come on one door and the bus rider come on the other door. Is that the logistical challenge they're mentioning? You see what I'm saying? It's-
Yes, so layout is always one of the challenges. Really the training is the biggest feat to tackle, because we want to make sure that we're doing it appropriately, we're maintaining dignity of the students, and that we're doing it in a way that is efficient to the operation as well. We don't want to slow things down, we want it to be safer. So where do we meet in the middle to find that sweet spot with our operation?
Both these schools have separate entrances for bus riders and the car riders.
Yes.
Heritage as well as EC class.
And to be clear, we're not gonna take one, it's not a cookie cutter approach. We're not gonna take the same operation from one school. What works at EC Glass may not work at Heritage. So we're taking the time to do one school at a time to make sure we get it right, and then we're gonna pick up shop and go over to the next place, and we're gonna figure out how to do it right there. And it may look completely different from one school to the next.
My second question was that metal detector will apply for visitors too, right?
Yes.
After the students, so there'll be a staffing during the daytime of the school hour to manage those metal detectors.
Yes, sir.
So that's the logistical challenge they're talking about?
It's one of them.
Well, I want to speak to that. I don't think we can say a hard yes to that there'll be a staff person who's sitting there at that point. Like you look at when you come into EC Glass, well, I mean, both schools, but when you come into EC Glass, I think there's some ways that we can figure that out with, with those structures there. So at least when you come in and be that staffing in the office. But I'm thinking not a designated,
Yeah, and to build on that, there's
yeah.
handheld wands that could be metal detectors, and those are already in schools. So that could be what replaces that if we decide to break down the metal detector and put it at a different entrance because we have another event going on or something of that like. That metal detector may be a hand wand as somebody comes in the door. And that person's still allowed to maybe sit at their desk for the day, and they can continue working, and then as somebody comes in, that becomes part of the process, becomes part of the operation.
Through locking, excuse me, were you done? Through the way you have control over locks, you could create essentially a sally port between, with certain doors. They
Good.
would walk through the metal detector and then the other door would open, be allowed to be open. If that's,
Could, yeah.
I was gonna say, I thought that was gonna be something that was gonna be brought up through the committee or through
That-
planning.
Yeah, so this is, and that's a great reason why we have the committee.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Any other questions?
Yeah,
Pastor has
yeah, could I ask, is there a way in terms of the system that we're putting in, do we have a similar model in some of the districts that are close by, or is this kind of a unique system that we're putting in?
So
Go ahead.
we have been in contact with other districts. Again, it's not a cookie cutter approach. We can't necessarily take what works for one school in another district and say, but we are certainly taking what they say into consideration. It's helping build that plan. A lot of schools that have done this, they've got a lot of trial and error conversations that we've been having with them, and they're saying, hey, just so you know this works, just so you know this doesn't work, or this didn't work for us. Maybe keep that in mind when you start, or we would do this differently. Those kinds of conversations are certainly being had.
Mr. Eileen, there are a lot of procedural pieces that we can pick up from different, like Mr. Marshall was saying, from different divisions. I have not, in a previous division, I did not implement metal detectors, but I did have the weapons detection system. And we were able through that process to visit other schools and see how they were doing it. And you can always pick up those little nuggets of what, of ways that their procedural pieces there. And so that's why it's so important going through this process with the full committee, because we are gonna have to, as Dr. Gupta was asking about and referencing, work through some of those logistical pieces and understand that it may work at Glass, and there may be some pieces that work really well there that we are able to translate, but there may be many aspects that we won't. So it will be quite a bit of a process, but we wanna make sure we do this correctly.
Right. Yeah, that sounds good. That meta theoretical approach where you could piecemeal from other districts, making sure that you can put it together from what is working is a good approach. So I kind of like the idea in terms of how you all approaching it.
And I think the purpose is purely to make schools safe based on the incidents we have seen recently.
Yes, recently, and then looking at some of that
It's
past
not
data.
creating a police state, it's just making sure every child is safe
Yeah.
when they come into the building.
Yes, as safe as possible.
Possible,
Nothing's
yeah.
foolproof,
Yeah.
but as safe as
It's
possible.
another layer.
Yeah, another layer of support.
Any other questions? Okay. Crime Stoppers.
All right, so I'm going to welcome Sergeant Barbara Gibson to the podium to present on Crime Stoppers.
Hello. How many of you have heard of Crime Stoppers? Okay. Well, it started in 1976. We brought it to this area in 2000 while we were under the leadership of Chuck Bennett. And it was, when it first came out, it was a great program for people to call in. It's a nonprofit organization that people can call in and give us information on crime. We are a regional group, and basically people get a number, and if that information comes to fruition, we're able to arrest somebody, find stolen items and such, that they get a monetary reward. So what we'd like to propose is that we offer that in the schools, the Lynchburg City schools. There would be no cost to the city schools. Basically, it's gonna put in the city schools a phone number for people to call and tell us about any people who might have drugs, they might have guns. Recently, we've had some incidents that people have come forward and basically, given us that information. Now, we realize that by providing this number, that it will also come with other information, whether it be bullying, or a lot of times we get information that is not necessarily criminal. And what we do with that information is we funnel that to the appropriate agency. So what we would like to do is say that somebody says somebody's being bullied or they're cheating on a test or something. That's not criminal in nature. We have no interest in doing anything with it. But what we propose is that we would send it to our SROs. All of our SROs have great working relationships with our principals and the counselors and stuff, and give that information to them. If, say, for example, if somebody does get on campus with a gun and stuff, and that is located based on the information that we receive, we are looking at being able to provide financial compensation to them. We'd like to start here in the cities. We have a great SRO program. Like I said, we are regional. We're all the way down to Alta Vista, Brookneal, all the way up to Nelson. I think it's 7 different jurisdictions. But we would like to get it started here. Like I said, there would be no expense to you guys. We thought about doing a poster contest or something so that there's something that we can put in the schools. But basically, we just need the support. Any questions?
Yeah, I have one. So my concern with something like this, how would we be able to protect the students or those that would make the report? Because, they're going to be, would there not be issues with people trying to snitch, kids making a report, and then word gets out that a kid did this, and then what would say be the repercussions? Because if they view them as someone that is snitching, how would we be able to protect those students?
Okay, so every call, you can actually call into an 800 number, you can text a number, and you can download an app, okay? No personal information is gathered. We recently had a somebody in the federal government that we received information that they were gonna bomb his house. And of course, those people up in DC wanted us to, can we research the IP address? We don't even capture the IP address. So there's no way for us to know who provides the information, so everything is anonymous. We've recently set up, we used to pay out our tips. We used to have one of the board members, they would meet in a shopping center, and all we would do is tell the tipster, look for, a white male in a blue truck, and this is the time that you're gonna meet. And they pull up side by side, they hand him the envelope, and he takes off. Recently, we have now got it for our board member safety. We have changed it to a bank. We put the money at a bank. They walk in, they give a tip number, and they walk out, and nobody ever knows who they are.
And my next question would be, what about a false alarm? How would that work if somebody tries to sort of intercept the system and it's not accurate information?
Like swatting, maybe.
Oh, okay. So swatting, we do our due diligence. It's just like, we've had several swatting calls lately. We do our due diligence to go out there, ensure everybody's safe, and then, but that has actually come into to the police department or into our dispatch center. That information has gone directly to them. We haven't not had at this point anything coming from through our Crime Stoppers tips, but we do vet it through other sources. If something comes in, our intelligence vice units are able to gather other information to cooperate things. So we don't just go in and act upon it. We do have to cooperate.
Okay, thank you.
My question would be, you say they are to call you?
So they can call an 800 number, they can text an app number, or the 5-digit number.
My concern is we have a bell-to-bell cell phone policy, but we're saying, get your cell phone out and report a Crime Stopper. Seems to be a conflict of interest policy. So that's would be my concern. Don't touch your cell phone, don't use your cell phone, but use your cell phone to report this issue. How do we justify that?
Do they have access to landlines?
I can tell the teacher.
I mean, that's a valid point.
I wonder if it would probably need to be worked out a little bit further in terms of how that would look for us. Because if I'm calling you and I want to be confidential, then I may not want to go to Mr. DePaul, who's my teacher, and tell him, because he may go and tell Ms. Day and say, well, you know what Christy said in class today. And then I call Crime Stoppers and this person gets, something happens, and everybody knows that little Christy's the one who told it, to her teacher first. So, I think that's the only piece, like, how does that work with the funds?
So the other thing is that, I don't know they've all got computers and stuff. I would have to check to see if there's a way I'm sure there's a way to do it online also. If not, if we can at least have it, advertise it out so that after the bell or before the bell, they at least have the information to call. I would hope that if somebody thinks that there's a gun in there, that, it's not gonna be about.
Calling Crime Stoppers, they should go to the principal.
Exactly.
Else.
Exactly.
Something of immediate nature.
Immediate.
Exactly, so,
Do that, yeah.
I live on a street right across from a high school,
Mhm.
and you got sexual offenders, within 1,000 feet, and a lot of kids walk through those streets, so this thing is useful. They are vigilant that there's somebody they can rely on to report if
right,
something out of the ordinary happens. So it provides another tool
yes.
to those kids who walk from, a lot of those townhomes being built, and young families are coming in, and they're walking over to those schools to feel at least they can tell somebody anonymously that you gotta come and send a patrol car.
Yes, and I was speaking to somebody earlier today, and I said, You know, just hearing it, if they call into Crime Stoppers or if they call into us, we need to funnel it up through our intelligence group, because that corroborates and gives more cooperation and stronger probable cause for a search warrant, okay? And so if somebody calls Crime Stoppers, we forward it to whoever is investigating it, and they can put into their search warrant probable cause, like we're receiving anonymous neighborhood complaints and stuff like that. So you're right. And it's not just for in school, you know?
It's around school.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff. These kids see and hear and experience a lot of things, and sometimes they just want to tell somebody, but they don't know who to trust, and if they can do it anonymously. And we're actually able to dialogue with them through the application and say, ask for more information.
My humble request will be, as law enforcement, please ask the city to have an ordinance to increase the circle around schools where registered sexual offenders can live.
That-
Maybe not 500 feet, maybe 2 miles. You know what I'm saying? Because these kids walk very close to some of those places.
I think that's more of a state law.
Is it state law?
Yeah, it's a state law, and we just have to follow it, and then, and that's an uphill battle. But certainly something that should be looked at.
Any other, go ahead.
So I guess I would ask, and that was a great question about the phones. It had me thinking, and what Dr. Gupta is saying as well about just, he sees it every day with the students. If we could, if you all would still be willing to support this, and then Mr. Marshall and Sergeant Gibson can work out logistics of how this looks during a school day, and we can work out those pieces. But it sounds like I know they've been working together on this for a while.
I spoke briefly about extra layers. This is an additional layer. When we met, I was hesitant. I didn't know anything about Crime Stoppers, if I'm being honest with you. After meeting with them, I felt good about it. I think it's, like I said, an extra layer. The question for me was, why not, versus why? We currently have a tip line, but we don't utilize it. Nobody knows who the emails go to. Nobody knows what the phone number goes to. This is a legitimate program, and I feel good about it. So there are logistical challenges that we need to work through, and I think that we could certainly work that out and come to a solution on it. But
There's a lot of bad happens out there, and I live next to a school. You can see strange things happen, and law enforcement can do only so much in random patrols. But a tip helps.
Yes, and it helps corroborate things. It makes it stronger for when we go to court.
If I'm not mistaken, there's no cost to the school.
No cost.
Okay.
So Ken,
As much as I support this, and I'm glad I got to hear about it, why is this a financial facilities concern? This should be to the full board, so everybody should hear what you've just presented. Getting you coming back here a second time to present to the full board,
That's fine.
I just think time could have been utilized better. No offense, I appreciate what you're doing. I'm just wondering why this was brought to this committee first.
We put it there because since we were doing the pieces with the metal detectors and the safety piece, we were putting that in with that and coupling that with it. And so we assumed, maybe we assumed
Okay.
wrong.
No,
but when we
I'm
looked at
just
metal-
wondering, I like
Oh, yeah,
it.
that's why, because of the metal detectors and we were looking at the safety piece, those two things coupled together made sense to us.
Fair enough, thank you.
and
Thank you.
I'd like to see us be able to integrate something, because just every student is still issued a Chromebook, right?
Yes, sir.
Chromebook is part of, and they're allowed to, so I'm thinking if we can have some type of link or something on the Chromebook,
App.
icon, Crime Stopper icon, so we kind of encourage them to do it through the Chromebook more than, like I said, I don't want to give them reasons to have to access their phone, because to me, that's giving a double message. Don't touch your phone, oh, but make sure you report this Crime Stop, So I just, because it's much better this year, but it's still an uphill battle with these students and these cell phones and
That's a
the
great point.
distractions that they cause. So if we can come up with something that would reduce the increase the amount of reporting to Crime Stoppers at the same time without giving them another excuse to pull that cell phone out. Because if they can, they will pull it out. You know, I was calling the Crime Stop. Yeah, you know, so that would be my only issue.
Okay, I will look into,
An icon on, you know, that through, Mr. Collins can put a link, you know, an icon link on everybody's Chromebook, everybody, including teachers and staff, that can be clicked and then anonymously send. I think that might be a way. And if, of course, we don't want to say if you know there's somebody with a gun, you don't want to, you know. So I want to make sure there's balance for them to understand that there may be, you may have to report it with your phone, but let's make that like the last resort, so we're not giving them mixed signals on use, on that cell phone policy.
Is it my understanding too that the reporting can be done away from the school?
yes, you can access this 24/7. There's a call center out in Texas that takes our phone calls, and then you can send it through apps.
Okay, okay.
Would you be putting signage like, you know, Crime Stoppers?
We would like to do that. We just want to get, I mean, we also need to get it out into the general public. But I think that, you know, the schools would be easiest, you know, for us to just put posters up. And that's really the only support we need as far as just getting the word out to our students and to our teachers.
Any questions? More? Okay, I'd make a motion to advance this to the full board for consideration.
I second it.
All in favor? Aye?
Aye.
Those opposed? Like sign? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, the budget hearing, this is where we discuss to advance the recommendation for the initial budget hearing to the school board to engage the community in their priorities.
Did we approve did I miss something? Did we approve the change order?
He's here now.
It's coming up.
We'd like to go to.
Okay,
That's,
I guess from the way my agenda's reading, okay, we're back.
yes, we approved moving it away, to the end.
Okay. I fell asleep on that part. I'm back up, I'm waking out.
So is there a discussion, or we should just say this makes sense and go ahead and do it?
On this? Oh, absolutely.
I do my, only issue is I talked before, today is what, November 7th, so we have enough time to notify public about the hearing? Because right now it's scheduled for December 2nd board meeting.
Yes, because initially, it was, and Ms. James and I, we had a lot of conversation about it. Initially, it was on for November 11th, and as our conversation continued, we felt like move it to December to give people enough time that if you all approve, that we can go ahead and get this advertised so that people are aware.
So according to state code, we have to advertise at least 7 days in advance of a public hearing for a school system for the budget. So the request tonight is twofold. I know that just says budget hearing, but I'd also like for you, if you are in agreement with the annual budget calendar that is before you, for you to approve this budget calendar so it can become official record as we are embarking on y'all's favorite time of the year, which is budget season. So we can follow this calendar along. So if you would, if you agree with the calendar, if you would adopt the calendar and advance the public hearing to the December meeting, that would be the requests on the table tonight.
My other thing was, like, you collecting departmental requests, and last year too, we asked each board member what their top priority in terms of budget is. So what point in time in the calendar do we expect to do that information gathering from each board member, one-to-one, or, you know?
Yes, sir. So we're already,
Some already started sending it.
we are already collecting information from the school principals and the directors, and we will advance that. We have actually already got some recommendations from various board members on what they would like to see in this year's budget, but we'll send an official request out for any requests that the board members may have.
And that would be in the 17th to 28th time period?
Yes, sir.
Do you want to add that language to this?
No, I'm just wondering, the budget hearing happens, you take the input from the public. When is the input from the board taken, before you have the whole budget prepared?
Yes, so that was part of like some earlier conversations, and I know we sent some, didn't you send that out, I believe? To ask for the board request, or did you send it out, Ms. Day? We were asking about some of the budget priorities, if board members could individually send that.
We actually had addressed that in a prior meeting, so that's when I started getting recommendations from the board members, but we can send out an official request, and I can incorporate that into the superintendent's recommendation.
Would you prefer to do it at the November 11th meeting?
I thought maybe if chair is okay, we bring it to the finance and facilities here and discuss it, and then the chair can take it out to the full board, right? And
It
see,
would make sense.
right, the flow is what we normally do.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, as soon as you can bring it to the finance and facilities whenever we meet next.
So didn't you send something out, or did you not?
I think we discussed it in an open meeting.
We discussed in an open meeting.
Asking, yes.
I didn't see anything.
Okay, maybe that was just a conversation that didn't happen, and then we can get that out.
We can bring it to the finance and facilities as an agenda item,
Yes, sir.
and then trickle it up to the full board for discussion, for recommendations from the finance and facilities in terms of what the board priorities are for budget, right?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Well, then we should have a meeting before December.
December, yeah.
Well, she's got CFO compile schools departments, and maybe that's why I said 17th to the 28th, should we be included in that, our input? So it should be compiles schools departments and school board budget requests.
Yes, sir. I can make that change on that.
This is just my opinion, maybe we can have a finance and facilities committee meeting, and the chair can send out a message to all the board members, this is what the committee is thinking. If you got any input, provided to the CFO.
That's an excellent.
And then, based on the public input, if any change needs to be made, we can incorporate that. The superintendent is there at that time, you see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So, there's time to modify or alter those recommendations. What do you guys think?
Excellent suggestion. Yes, sir.
You bring turkey and we'll do Thanksgiving. I'm getting, Pastor wanted to say something.
No, I'm just listening. I like the turkey part.
When is the next finance meeting?
Well, it wouldn't be till next, till December, so we should consider the 18th.
I did. I sent an email September 15th. I knew I sent an email saying, send some budget requests to Ms. James. I know there was an email sent out. So we'll,
To us,
yeah.
I probably,
Okay, September has evaporated.
Yeah.
I probably swiped.
So I'll just forward it to you, Mr. DePaul, and then that gives you a guide.
Eighteenth, we have a legislative dinner with the city of Lynchburg, maybe
What time?
6 o'clock. So we could do
We
prior.
could do before.
Yeah,
You have, if you're talking about the 18th,
yes, ma'am.
you have a legislative committee meeting here until 6, and then you have academic success meeting here, boardroom at 3:30.
Anybody in the academic success, oh, you do you do the minutes?
You sent it out on September 15th.
I can be at either one, I was just letting you know that both, you got two committees meeting.
Although there won't be a space,
There won't be a space, and I didn't, yeah.
we can take the conference room upstairs, will there be enough public comes.
Two
One of the committees can take the conference space, since we do live, we,
legislators in there, and academic is in here.
no, I'm talking about the 224 room. And then superintendent's conference room.
Oh, you're talking about my little office?
No, the conference room.
Oh, the 206?
Yeah.
I think somebody's in there.
Somebody's in 206.
But your little conference room,
My little room, and use that for finance or
For
use it?
LSER.
Oh,
For, I guess,
And the academic success.
academics 206, LACR, your conference room, and then budget, finance would be here.
that meeting, that's a little small group. We'll find a spot for
Yeah,
that.
because this is a live meeting, you need cameras around, so.
Correct.
This, otherwise we'll change this location.
Okay.
All right.
Because if you don't meet on 18th, everything will, then you guys and VSBA
Yes, sir.
after that. What do you
Then we
think?
have Thanksgiving,
Yes, sir.
18th,
18, 3:30, or
3:30, 18th. Putting it there.
Do I have permission to advertise for the budget hearing in December?
I would, yeah, sure.
Okay.
You gonna resend this? Fiscal, reminder?
I should send it to the chair of the finance.
No, this one here that she sent out on the 15th. She says she hasn't gotten any replies back yet.
I'm sending it to Mr. DePaul.
You should send it.
Any other, we got this all covered then?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any other
We have motion
questions?
to approve, can I make a motion to approve the calendar? I make a motion to approve the budget calendar.
Second. All in favor of approving the calendar? Aye.
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 Those opposed, like sign?
Okay.
Okay. So we're covered here.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, we're back to Mr. Eubank.
Is this the-
Change order.
Change order.
I guess, first off, I wanted to apologize for being late, so thank you for pushing this towards the end. Basically, we talked about this a few weeks ago for the change order for the access control project. As I explained before, because it's more than 25% of the original contract value, it has to come before school board. So the main thing I wanted to do today is, last time we had, I guess I misspoke. We had taken Fort Hill out of Phase 2 and had pushed it out into Phase 3 because I had said that we had a renovation project coming up there, which we do not. So we have moved Fort Hill back into Phase 2, which we do have the money to do, and we're still within budget, I should say, based on those numbers on the sheet that you all have. So I guess this would be asking permission to take this to school board for final approval.
Questions?
So we're looking at access, the original budget was 4,638,968, and with the changes, with the change order, it'll still be 4,572,576.
That's correct.
We're within budget. I know that's your
Got a
first.
problem with that?
No, I like when we're within budget.
Sounds good. Any other questions?
Make a motion to move it to the full board.
Second. Those in favor of moving it to the full board, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, like sign? Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Glad you made it. All right. All right, the next is committee member comments. Not hearing any? Do we have a closed session? Okay. School board chair recommends that the school board approve a motion to convene a closed session meeting to discuss the following as permitted by Virginia Code 2.2-371A19, discussion of reports or plans related to the security of a governmental facility, building or structure, or the safety of persons using such facility, building, or structure. We have a motion?
So move.
Second?
Second.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, like sign? Okay, we're in closed session.
Did he shut this down?
I think he should.